if the levy is removed forever, then it means there will be no money in the account that is supposed to be used to pay for these products. And the supply of this product is also very important because the fisher folk rely on this for fishing, and also industries rely on residual fuel oil for production. So we look at what is in the account, and then based on what we see in the account and how long it can last, we advise governments technically. So what we did in October 2021 was that we saw that there was kind of some balance in the account, which we could rely on to cushion consumers for a while. That's how come there was an initial removal for 2 months. And so that was what we did. Another month was requested. So now, looking at what we have in the account, if it is not brought back, we will not be able to raise revenue to pay for the subsidies that is accruing on premix fuel and residual fuel oil. So that is the reason why the deadline was 31st January. So once it has ended, as a regulator, we take the directive from the Ministry of Finance and Parliament as to which taxes and levies should be on petroleum products. So once we have not been given a directive to remove it from the price board up, we have to make sure it reflects in the formula, and that's how it has been restored.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It appears that the aim is to protect the consumers, but that's not working with or without the levy.
So like I explained, you cannot stop the movement of prices of petroleum products in a deregulated market. The only way one can stop movement of prices is to subsidize the product. So if you see the price of petroleum products stable for a longer period, it means that something is happening, which means the price is being subsidized. So since we deregulated in July 2015, you would notice that the price of fuel changes every 2 weeks in response to changes on the world market. So the fact that the prices were moving does not mean that nothing was done. So like in this typical scenario, the levy was removed from the formula for the month of November and December 2021 and January 2022. Consumers were not made to pay for this levy. So the fact that the prices moved doesn't mean that it didn't work. It worked. So the consumer was spared from paying the 16 pesos extra on petrol, for example. So the fact that prices moved doesn't mean that the intervention did not work.
But your concern should also be about the economy. Already, the main stakeholders in all of this, the drivers, are lamenting the decision that you're taking. Are you mindful of all of these concerns that are coming up?
So as you are aware, the National Petroleum Authority is not the manager of the country's economy in terms of the fiscal policy decisions. We act on what we've been directed by Parliament. Levies and taxes, imposition of the levies and taxes on petroleum products is done by government through Parliament. So for us, if Parliament has passed that a levy should reflect in the formula that is supposed to be used to set the price, we have to implement that. If there's a directive to us that the levy should go off, we would apply that accordingly. So it is not for us to decide what levy is on the product or not. So the management of the economy and the impacts, I think the Ministry of Finance will handle that. So if they do the assessments and they think that the government can get revenue from elsewhere to pay for the subsidies for premix and RFO, and then we are directed to remove this levy, we will comply accordingly.